Alright guys, good morning. It is the 11th of the 11th, 2019 at 9:18 a.m. London time. So warm welcome to the new week. It's great to be here after a great weekend of rest, quote unquote, with a little bit of laptop screens and PC screens in between. But I feel rested and I'm going to get into the market right now. Very interesting, extremely interesting manifestation of what happened last night. So I've been short bias, right? You guys know I've been short bias for a long time, but how does that translate into our trading? Well, the first thing I want to say is, look, sometimes it's pretty difficult to hold your bias, but if you see what you see and if you've made a thesis, sometimes it's not good to change until something else emerges, right? That said, I did close my short at 9:13 yesterday. 9013 USD, which was obviously a mistake, but I was hedging just against the scenario, just in case that we did pump up, right? This morning, I think that BTC is on a trajectory down. I don't think this will hold us, right? But we're looking at two areas right now. In fact, there's three different scenarios I'm looking at. One is we move into here, we wick off and we start to continue up. Two is that we move down to the lower 8200 region, which is probably a bit more fair, right? So with the liquidity built up there now, it may not occur that we just move to 8532. In any case, if you're still short, you want to be taking profit at 8532 and 823. I'd spread them around 65%, 35%. The third circumstance is that we just double bottom here, right? That's also possible, but it doesn't seem likely to me due to what happened. And if we 12-hour close like this, it's probably going to accelerate down. What's it called? Britain are just waking up still. London are just still waking up. Europe have just woken up. And, if we're down there by the time USA wakes up, they're probably going to panic, right? I guarantee you that a lot of leverage longs came in here and got overexcited, right? That said, because I don't have a position in BTC, I'm going to talk about the positions that are open, at least on my side. So first one is BNB. I'm actually short on BNB on two accounts. I do apologize, Sniper just made a small mistake yesterday saying that we were stopped out, which we were not, right? I stated 2 or 3 times, once in the video, twice in an update, that I wanted to see us close over 20.5, right? And if we didn't close over 20.5, I would hold short, and that occurred. What we see on a lower time frame here is that we made it's 5 impulses up, this is what I was seeing, right? I did jump the gun in it according to entry slightly, but the issue is I saw that we may make 5 impulse waves up, and that 5 impulse wave was right at this pivot right here, right? So you don't even have to think in terms of wave structure or whatever, just where is an ending move likely to happen, and that was a place that coincided with trendline resistance and also fib extensions, etc., 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 right? So I thought that we might take liquidity here and move down, hence why I wanted to see it close. So I remain short on BNB until otherwise stated, and the same is with QTM. So QTM, the short's still on. The stop loss did not get triggered, 2.245. It didn't close over that pivot yesterday and is in fact forming a head and shoulders like the rest of the market, right? So I'm holding QTIM until 1.857 or until this kind of regains this pivot, right? I'm just holding that position right there. And if you flip long, it may be good just to sit out or try and find an entry at 2.13 where the original trade is if you can, right? Next is BCH ABC. So I've been looking at this one this morning, and this to me is looking like a reshort, yeah? So this was stopped out at break even, which was good because it shouldn't have got up there, but it did, right? So I just want to break down BCH ABC USD from the weekly chart, and we can see that we've hit this weekly pivot here. We formed a swing high. So anywhere in this region is still a short play down towards 2584, right? This head and shoulders target right here. I do feel like that's what we're doing. Can we come up further? We can come up further and do that, but I think it's a bit unlikely right now due to what we've done here. Okay, so if we turn this all off, we have an impulse up there, we have a structure break down below support, and we've just retested support. Let me just turn all this off. So if you look at the daily chart, right, we've retested, or the 12-hour chart is probably better. We've retested this zone right here and broken down. And what is more significant is that if you see this impulse towards the downside, it's also reached a 78.6. So I'm thinking about whether to reopen this short or not this morning in BCH ABC. The reason being is because the BTC pair is looking a little bit bullish, right? So if we look at the BTC pair, it is looking a little bullish, but I guess it's running out of steam at the same time, right? It looks like it's running out of steam, unless it just impulsively moves and doesn't stop moving. But I don't see that the market this morning is generally bullish, nor is the sentiment. So I'll probably post. I've actually loaded up a little bit short on BCH ABC just to test the water, to test if I'm jumping the gun in accordance to my own psychology or not. It doesn't feel like that right now. And so when I'm ready to take a full position size, I will post that out. Next is Ripple. Still short on Ripple, as I did state. It didn't get filled initially at this ask point, but I'm short until this red line, right? And we're short a decent amount, And I think we can do another 4%. That's good enough, right? Next, LTC. I've closed LTC this morning simply due to the fact that we moved into this 200 EMA, just below it at least, and the market's generally looking pretty bearish, right? It's looking pretty bearish. What that is, it's me stopping the trade until I can recalculate what's going on, right? Because we have a mantra, and the mantra is, listen, don't figure it out right now if something that you wanted to see is occurring. Close position, figure it out later. And that's what I'm doing with Litecoin. With Litecoin, it could be that it's just retracing locally, so that we have a movement here, movement here, movement here, and we have a starting of a new movement that's just retracing. Yeah, I think that may be what's happening right now. So one bang like that, and retracement of this impulse, and then we can continue higher. Now that will be dependent on LTC BTC itself, which also did a pretty harsh wick. So you have a lot of trap buyers there. Yeah, there was a lot of breakout traders that came at this pivot. And unfortunately, daily yesterday closed beneath it, right? So it's holding resistance here. That's also the 200 EMA on the 12-hour, but there is space to go up. So it may be that we can press now underneath here until the market's ready to move up. So I will be reassessing Litecoin because it is a very interesting alt to play. It was very clear until now, right? So, yep. And what else am I looking at? That's it, really. I think that's it. 1 minute. Let's see what I've got in my portfolio. Yep, that's it. And IOST, I'm still short half my stack on IOST, right? So as stated, yeah, that's good. I'm happy I held that short. 0.005689. Now, if you guys have been chopped up in the market, maybe with your own things or other things, listen, it's not an issue. It happens. These markets are very choppy. Just keep on going and keep your risk proper, right? I've been chopped up slightly myself, getting in and out of positions, but it's needed. If you think about that, as long as your portfolio is not decreasing too rapidly when the market is in rubbish conditions, you're actually performing higher than the average, right? And that's all you want to do. So in choppy conditions, most people lose majority of their money. It doesn't matter what people post on Twitter or whatever. What you want to do is you want to just stay in the game, and you want to keep your losses very minimal and stick with your strong positions, get out of your weak positions, and just keep doing that over and over again. I wanted to address that this morning because there's a lot of even lately, there's a lot of things on Twitter. People have been posting 20%, 30%, 40% gains. Listen, right? I want to bring some normalcy back to the space because I used to do this a lot when doing videos. That's not realistic, yeah? If you think people are really taking 50%, 40%, 30% willy-nilly, that's not happening, especially in these market conditions. Because yes, you do have, theoretically, you can run a setup, put the stop loss in and get 50%, but there's so many other things to account for, not least the fact that proper methodology will guard against losses. And to guard against losses in climates like this, you have to be a bit more frugal, right? With both your risk and with also how you're hopping in and out of positions. So the only thing I'm debating right now, and I have filled a little bit in, is BCH ABC. I was a bit annoyed I got stopped out at 294, but there you are, right there you are. So that's that for today, and I will be now going over just quickly before the video ends total 2. Total 2 is done in my opinion, and I think that we're forming a head and shoulders on total 2, right? I'll post this out to public in a minute, but total 2 is forming a head and shoulders like this, and I think that means the target for the whole alt market is a little bit lower, guys, right? It's a little bit lower. So if we do that, take this to one-to-one extension, that's a relative slide of around 6%. Now we do know that the total 2, it multiplies anywhere from 2 to 6. So I'll take the average of that, about 4. You got to, I'd say around a 10 to 20% slide if I'm correct. Yeah, if I'm correct. I might not be, but this is just my objective analysis for this morning. And again, I'm not presenting what I want to see, it's just what I see. Yeah, that's why I've been getting in and out of positions, because I'm just playing with what's here, not what I think is going to happen. Essentially, too much. So to recap, BTC, in my opinion, is going much lower. In fact, this could even rip down a lot further, right? This could just fuck all the FOMO longs in and rip down further. Now, it's a great hedge. This is why I kept my short on altcoins. It was a hedge against this initial position. Now, I'm a bit sad, right? I'm a bit sad that this has just reached targets, and you probably are too if you close your short. That's what happens sometimes. Yeah, there's many other opportunities available. And as we start London Open this morning, I'm wishing you well. To the guys in USA waking up right now, try not to panic essentially with the market and just think through smoothly. All right, thanks guys. Peace.